Have you ever walked into a room, looked around, and realized you're the only one without a partner? Be honest. How does that feel? A little awkward? A little isolating? Maybe even a little frustrating? If you've ever had that moment, then this conversation is for you. Welcome to Mind Matters Expert. Let's talk about something real, something a lot of people experience but don't always openly discuss. There comes a moment, sometimes subtle, sometimes striking, when you look around your social circle and realize something has shifted. At dinners, weddings, birthdays, casual hangouts, everyone seems to have someone. And you? You're the only one without a partner. At first, it might not feel like a big deal. You brush it off. You laugh it away. You tell yourself it doesn't matter. But when it keeps happening, again and again, it can start to feel different, heavier. Thoughts begin to creep in quietly, and then more persistently. Why am I still single? Is something wrong with me? When will it be my turn? If you've ever found yourself in that space, pause right here for a second. Take a breath. Because being single is not a problem that needs fixing. It's not a flaw. It's not a failure. It's simply a phase of life, and one that holds more freedom, possibility, and growth than most people realize. Instead of letting social pressure chip away at your confidence, you can choose a different perspective. You can use this time to grow into yourself, explore your world, and genuinely enjoy your life as it is, right now. And it starts with something simple, yet powerful. Owning your presence and truly showing up for yourself. When everyone around you seems happily paired off, it's incredibly easy to shrink a little, to feel like you don't quite belong, to question your place in the room. Especially if you're going through a dating dry spell, those feelings can intensify. You might feel isolated, disconnected, even invisible. But here's something worth remembering, something powerful. You don't need a partner to be seen. You don't need a partner to shine. So instead of dreading your next event, shift the energy completely. Decide, consciously, that you are going to show up for yourself. Be your own reason to get excited. Wear something that makes you feel confident the moment you put it on. Walk into the room with intention. Hold your head high. Make eye contact. Smile. Not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because you genuinely feel good in your own presence. Let yourself be playful. Let yourself be magnetic. Engage in conversations. Laugh freely. Even flirt a little. Not for validation, but for the sheer joy of connection. Because when you stop focusing on what you lack and start embracing what you bring, something shifts. You stop waiting to be noticed. And you naturally become unforgettable. That's the beauty of confidence. It doesn't come from having someone beside you. It comes from being fully comfortable standing on your own. And as you begin to step into that version of yourself, something else becomes clear. You're not missing out on life. You're actually in a unique position to fully enjoy it. Somewhere along the way, many of us absorb the idea that being single is just a temporary waiting room, a space you sit in, until your real life begins. But what if that idea is completely wrong? What if this, right now, is your real life? Being single isn't a punishment. It's not a delay. It's a perspective. And when you shift that perspective, everything changes. Think about what you truly have in this moment. You have freedom, the kind that's rare and incredibly valuable. The freedom to make spontaneous plans. The freedom to explore your interests without compromise. The freedom to change direction whenever you feel like it. And perhaps most importantly, you have space. Space to grow. Space to discover who you really are. Space to build a life that reflects you, not a relationship dynamic. So instead of focusing on what's missing, start leaning into what's possible. Say yes to things that excite you. Go out, even when you don't have a reason. Talk to new people, without expectations attached. Allow yourself to enjoy those light, fleeting moments, conversations, laughter, attraction, without needing them to turn into something permanent. Because here's the truth. When you genuinely enjoy your life as it is, you remove the pressure that often blocks real connection. And in that relaxed, open state, the right connections tend to find you more naturally. Now, while you're navigating this journey, it's easy, almost automatic, to look at your coupled-up friends and feel like they represent something you don't have. But what if you flipped that perspective? What if, instead of seeing them as a reminder, you saw them as a resource, even a kind of support system, a wing team you didn't realize you had? Your friends live in their own networks. They know people you haven't met yet, friends, coworkers, acquaintances, some of whom might actually be great for you. Now, this doesn't mean you need to ask for setups or awkward blind dates. You don't need pressure-filled introductions or forced chemistry. Keep it simple. Keep it natural. Just let your friends know you're open to meeting new people. Suggest group hangouts. Encourage them to invite others along, especially other singles. This way, connections happen organically. Conversations flow more easily. There's no spotlight, no expectation, just people getting to know each other. And if your friends seem hesitant, that's okay. Gently remind them that being single comes with its own challenges, too. Let them know you're not asking for anything complicated, just opportunities to expand your circle. Chances are they'll understand, and more often than not, they'll be happy to help. Because at the end of the day, the people who care about you want to see you happy, and sometimes they just need to know how to support you. And as you begin to open those doors, you might also realize something important. Maybe it's time to step a little beyond your usual crowd. If you constantly feel like the only single one in your current circle, it might not be about you. It might simply be about your environment. And that's something you can change. Start by looking closer to home. Are there people you already know, but haven't really connected with? A coworker you've only had small talk with? A neighbor you've never spent time with? A friend of a friend you've seen but never spoken to? Sometimes, new connections are closer than they appear. Reach out. Invite someone for coffee. Suggest a casual hangout. Keep it light and low pressure. And if your current network truly feels limited, then it's time to expand outward. Put yourself in spaces where connection is naturally built in. Join a group, take a class, explore a hobby, not just for the sake of meeting someone, but for the experience itself. Try something that genuinely interests you. Dancing, cooking, language learning, fitness classes, creative workshops. These environments do something powerful. They bring together people who already share a common interest, which makes conversations easier, interactions more natural, and connections more meaningful. And even if you don't meet the one, you gain something just as valuable. New experiences, new skills, and a richer, fuller life. It's a win either way. And through all of this, there's one thing that quietly holds everything together. Learning to trust the timing of your life, while truly valuing who you are in the present moment. Even with all of this perspective, there will still be moments, quiet moments, where it feels hard. Moments where you wish you had someone to share things with. Moments where being the only single person feels isolating. And that's okay. You're human. But instead of letting those moments define your experience, let them pass, without attaching meaning to them. Being single is not something you have to get through. It's not a waiting period you need to endure. It's a chapter, a meaningful one that teaches independence, emotional strength, self-awareness, confidence, and perhaps most importantly, it teaches you how to enjoy your own company. Patience becomes essential here, because the right relationship isn't something you can rush. It isn't something you can force into existence through pressure or comparison. But when it does come, it will meet a version of you that is whole, grounded, and self-assured. And that makes all the difference. And when you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, one final truth begins to settle in. This isn't about waiting for love. It's about learning to fall in love with your life first. Being single doesn't mean you're incomplete. It doesn't mean you're falling behind, and it certainly doesn't mean you're missing out. In fact, this phase of life, when embraced fully, can become one of the most exciting, liberating, and transformative experiences you'll ever have. So instead of waiting, start living. Celebrate yourself. Build a life that feels good to wake up to. Say yes to growth, to joy, to new experiences. Because when you truly begin to love your life as it is, something shifts in a profound way. You stop chasing validation. You stop measuring your worth by relationship status. You stop feeling like something is missing. And in that space, you become complete on your own. And that's exactly where everything begins to fall into place. Now, before you go, here's something I want you to think about. Let's turn this into a quick challenge. Ask yourself honestly, when was the last time you truly enjoyed your own company, without distraction? What's one thing you've been putting off because you're waiting for the right person? And if nothing changed tomorrow, could you still feel fulfilled with your life as it is today? Take a moment, really think about it. And if you're watching this, drop your answer, or even just one realization, in the comments. Someone out there might need to hear it. If this conversation made you pause, reflect, or see your single life a little differently, share it with someone who might need it too. And for more real, honest conversations like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Mind Matters Expert. Because sometimes, the most important relationship you'll ever build is the one you have with yourself.